Well, this year's installment of the annual Ekurhuleni New Years Extravaganza is set to be the biggest since its inception in 2016. The show has been hailed as the biggest festival to be hosted in Ekurhuleni to usher in the new year. It's held over 2 days and features a number of local music groups as well as popular comedians and celebrities. So I'm joined in studio by one of the organizers, Gary Magagula, as well as all the way from the US, DJ Louie Vega. Thanks a lot, gentlemen, for joining us this evening. Hello. Very well, thank you. So now, this is a beautiful success story. I mean, it's coming from Ekurhuleni, and I mean, it's attracted about 15,000 visitors in Gauteng that are coming in from across, you know, just 100%. To experience it. What makes this extravaganza so magical?
I think it's known in Gauteng that we have more people that are traveling coastal, you know, during the festive season. So 2016, we then created this concept called Ekurhuleni New Years Extravaganza, which we, from the beginning, we've just brought it onto that international feel. We had Selena Johnson coming on into the country to perform. It's a 2-day event which takes place on the 31st of December and crosses over to the 1st of January. Okay. So the 31st of December would be an appeal to the younger generations. We've got the likes of our international Louie Vega. So, you know, we're just keeping it in that level still. We've got your hip-hop's best in SA, your Ricky Rick, Black Motion, Shimza, which we proclaim from Ekurhuleni as also being an international artist because, I mean, he travels all over. Then we're crossing over to the 1st. On the 1st, that's where your matured crowd, it's an all-white soul affair. We've got the likes of Zonke, we've got the likes of Mafigizolo, we've got the likes of Bongo Muffin and Trompis, your Wilson P and Kosi. So it's more of a laid-back, you know, type of an event.
Well, the beauty about it is that you're managing to cater for both young and old, which 100%. Perhaps makes it that much more special. And Louie, I know that coming from the US, what would you say attracted you to even being part of this event in itself?
Well, you know, they were the first ones who reached out for Anane and I. Anane is my wife, and we do an event in Ibiza called The Ritual, and they wanted the experience here. So we were very excited that they had called for both of us. So we're coming down to...
And this is not your first time in South Africa,
no,
right? It's like, I don't know, the umpteenth time.
But it's the first time we do The Ritual with Anane and myself together, and it's a party that we do around the world. So we're really excited to bring it out here and give you a little taste of what we do around the world.
And that's the international feel, and perhaps that's the whole point of it, is being able to take in the global feel to how parties are supposed to be and how we are actually supposed to be celebrating, really, and 100%. Making it and giving it that extra local flavor.
I mean, it's known that Ekurhuleni has the biggest airport in Africa, which is OR Tambo. Every international person that comes to Joburg, they fly to Ekurhuleni. So we want to keep it to that feel, that we keep it into that international level. When time comes up, we will definitely attract people from, you know, all over the world.
Is that where you guys are going 100%. In terms of being able to be that, when they say New Year's Eve extravaganza, it's almost like a New Year's Eve extravaganza 100%. In New York. 100%. So you've got the option of either going to New York, just coming down to the country and experiencing.
You know, the likes of Mafigizolo is an example. They travel every weekend internationally. So to us, they represent as an international artist themselves. So our point is that we need to have people traveling as well inland during the season, you know, to come and enjoy. There'll be less accidents. There'll be, you know, people can't be traveling too far because of those distances that they travel. Then there's many accidents. We're just trying to contain everything into one.
Yeah, and then I mean, from you, Louie, I mean, many would say that what's beautiful is having a festival about, you know, that has got that international feel to it. But I would look at it as a spectator from the outside and say, it's perhaps even more than that. It's the beauty of the country. It's a country in itself that keeps bringing you back and keeps wanting you to add in more and more and more. So what, in your opinion, has really struck a chord with you when it comes to this country of ours? Because for you to come back, that means that we're doing something right here.
Well, you know, what's most important is that dance music has really penetrated through the youth culture. And you know, I've been through 3 generations of it here. It's been amazing. And what I love about this event is that they cover the whole spectrum. I mean, you know, you have new artists like, you know, that are doing it across the world and of here as well, like Black Motion and Shimza and Anane, who's introducing her new sound out here. And then you have, you know, more of the legendaries. You have Bongo Muffin, you have Mafigizolo, who I've worked with, you know, like 15 to 18 years ago. And, you know, I licensed some of their records from Oskido and Kalawa. So you know, we've had an ongoing relationship, and I love watching the culture grow and how the youth has, you know, they change the sound. You know, it's wonderful.
I want us to touch base about this because, I mean, this is the second time you've mentioned the sound changing in one sentence and the evolution of the music in itself. I mean, speaking about Anane, so when we're looking at the evolution of music, where are we currently sitting? If we had to describe sound and how music is transcending, and where do you see it going, let's say in the next 5 to 10 years or so, because it never stays the same. There's always something new. There's always a new beat that is introduced and becomes saturated because everybody jumps onto it. But where's sound? Where are we currently, and where would you say that we're actually going in terms of that?
Well, I think, you know, all the music that's coming out, there's a lot of inspiration. You know, some people from that do maybe Afro house or dance music might get inspired by something in the hip-hop world. Somebody in the hip-hop world might get inspired by, you know, someone in the dance world or a sound. You know what I mean? I see a lot of cross-pollination happening now. I see, you know, you have Black Coffee working with Swiss Beats and Usher. You have, you know, and vice versa. You know, you have Anane picking up a lot of artists from all over Africa, all this youth. I mean, 16 to 18-year-olds making music like if they were making it for 10 years already. I mean, you know, when you hear their sounds, you know, so there's really something powerful happening, and I like the way everything is crossing over into each other, you know, and a lot of the artists are collaborating, and I think that's how new sounds come about. You know, you take somebody from, you know, the dance scene to work with somebody in the R&B, soul, or hip-hop scene. You know, those sounds combined will create something new, and that becomes the future.
And perhaps one we would say that the reason why we need to be so unafraid to take the risks in sound and unafraid to experiment with different kinds of sounds is because the global community is becoming smaller, believe it or not, right? Because of social media, because of the accessibility, because of Spotify and some of the you know, the platforms that are out there, the music platforms, it allows you to play around and actually introduce your ears to something new, and which means that for your guys' sake, it means that stepping it up every single year to become better. Otherwise, you become redundant, so to say.
Exactly. You know, that's why we call it a musical experience. Yeah. So we take it from new generation, take it back all the way, you know, where music was exposed to us in South Africa. I mean, the likes of Mafikizolo, Pongo Mafin, Trumpis, those guys have been together for more than 20 years, you know, in one stable. So you can imagine we're bringing that whole crew in one stage. On the first.
It says something about the ability to sustain, not even like a group, but it says something about the ability to sustain talent, right? Yes. What would you say would be the secret to ensuring that this grows to about 100,000 of people who are in attendance? Because there is a trick to this. There's a trick to becoming relevant in a changing, dynamic community.
You know, one thing I've learned in the industry is that you need to keep fresh, you know, in everything that you do. You can't be stagnant. You can't be doing the same thing all over and over. I mean, I was listening to Louie's set today. You know, how he started, the beats has already evolved from how we knew him, you know, 20 years ago. So I'm just saying, you need to step up.
Here we go, how we knew him 20 years ago. Because I'm thinking anybody that is, you know, into music, etc., and especially the younger generation, and I'm talking about generation, where are we now, Z, so the millennials and just after the millennials and themselves, they might look at DJ Louie Vega and go, who's Louie Vega? But so how do you then, you know, start reaching out to that target market? Because that target market is going to be there on the 31st, aren't they?
You know, I begged him to say, please take us back, but yet remain now, you know, and he did that. You know, I think he sampled what I experienced today, where he brought your London roots and your Diamond Lives. You know, those are the type of music that we've known Louie for. But there's a new, fresh, the Ibiza, you know, the whole sound that is changing. I mean, there's a lot of South Africans now that travel to Ibiza for such music.
It's to experience the 100%. Culture of music and be able to bring something 100%. Fresh and relevant into our shores. 100%. Correct. So, okay, so it's 31st, which is the youthful, and then the 1st, which is the all-white party, and then tickets are still $100, if I'm not incorrect.
Tickets are 150 for the 31st. Okay. VIP is 400 Rand. On the 1st, tickets are 250, and then unfortunately, VIP and VVIP is sold out already. So we're moving. Yeah. So
are we going to be saying that it's going to be more than 15,000 that you can be, you know, anticipating for this year? I mean, you already sold out VIP.
You know what? We try and keep it to a limit so that it becomes an experience. So that
with the comedians, because I understand that there are going to be a few comedians there as well.
No, not this year.
Not this year.
This year, yes.
Okay, so this year it's about just the music, 100%. Experiencing the music.
So this year it's about the music, it's about the fashion. There's a lady that we're working with, T-Styles. She does fashion, so ladies that are coming there, They consult with her, so she brings the best out of it, especially on the all white. We've got young chefs, you know, from Tembisa. We're working with Tembisa. I see
Sporo as well.
100%.
Sporos, yeah.
So we've got Tembisa Street Food Market. We've got Sporo Cookout, which basically are the biggest in Ekurhuleni. Those attract young chefs that will be bringing different types of food. And, you know, so when you get to the venue, there's just too much besides the music.
Well, it's all about the experience. Thank you so much to the both of you for gracing us with your presence, and all the best for the event. Hopefully 15,000 and more there, as we can anticipate for this event that is going to be happening on the 31st of December. If you've got nothing to do, 31st of December, 1st of January, all right? That is where you need to be. Ekurhuleni. It is the New Year's Eve extravaganza. And